eventually we can get it closer to the camera.
Well, we're just going to show you a new lure today. This is by no means a normal twitching jig. It's basically what we call a tubular reactor. So anyways, keep in mind there's no side-to-side twitching going on here or anything. This is just a little small twitch. I mean, it doesn't take much to make this lure do what it's doing. And anyway, we're going to show it to you. I'll show you what it looks like in my hand, and show you how it catches fish today. So a little background on this is a friend of mine, Chris Brown, and I, we've been working on this together for every bit of 7 months, maybe a little bit longer, to develop this to work the way it does. And I think you'd be pretty surprised at how it really works, especially if you get to fish with one. Chris Brown at Bigfoot Bait Co. is the one that will be making and selling these lures. There is a link in the comments below to find Bigfoot on Facebook. This size here is a half-ounce jig head. These make out to about 0.7 of an ounce. And this is also a half-ounce jig head, but it has a bigger tube on it. And so this one comes out right at about an ounce. And then we have the Big Heavy. These things are a 1.5 ounce jig head, and it comes out at about 2 ounces. These are for big deep holes, of course, with maybe a little current. And anyway, they all have really good action. My favorite is this size here. These things have some super action underwater. Now, even though this size is my favorite, fish don't really bite them. They just come up toward the surface, and then we shoot them with the 760 Pump Master BB gun. See? No, not really. I'm surprised that this one even has any rubber left on it. It caught more fish in one day than any one of my lures has caught all year. So, yeah, it's amazing. So this is the one you saw in the underwater footage. It's kind of got a pearl tube, so it looks kind of dull and not real flashy. But when it gets underwater, I think you'll be surprised. And that action is phenomenal. As you can see here, we got the willow blade, spinner blade on them too. That seemed to work really well. Anyway, we'll move on to some, we'll show you how they catch fish. So I'm going to show you the first day here that I fished with it after we had it figured out. So of course we started out the day casting and retrieving plugs like I usually do for coho. Now I'm just sitting here trying to show Phil how this thing looks in the water, you know, and Leif of course, but Leif has to go hook a coho on the gosh dang plug, so we ended up putting it away for a little while. So we actually had pretty good action on the plugs for a while in the spot. And caught a few that were clipped and a few that weren't. And they each had a couple fish, and they kind of got a little burnt out throwing the plugs and wanted to sit around on some eggs for a while. And I thought, well, it'd be a good chance to check out that lure. So I'm not the guy that fishes with my customers. I just don't do it. But I really wanted to try this lure, and they wanted to plunk a little while. So I have them plunked out short, one on eggs and one on a coon shrimp. And I think it was second or third cast. This happened. Keep in mind that the bite had kind of gone off in the hole a little bit with the plugs, and we're just catching some fish on the tide here. I don't think we really had a hot spot or anything. So this is the very next cast. So we have Leif Phillips on the left and Phil Hayes on the right. I've been friends with Leif since before I even went to school. Phil I've been friends with, and he's been a good customer of mine for years now. So we have a good relationship, and these guys were just enjoying watching me test out this lure, and we were just having a blast with it. So on this next one, before I could even get the tubular reactor back out, Leif has to hook one on eggs, which broke up the action on that thing just a little bit. So the thing runs up around us, goes underneath a log, and goes around the anchor rope, and then back down into the hole. So it's actually over behind Phil right there, splashing around in the water right now. So Leif feeds me some slack, and I get his line around the other side of the boat there. I actually pulled enough up in the boat to cut it off and tie it onto another rod that was broke off already, luckily, and recover. So yeah, that one was pretty exciting. Here he's reeling his line back through the log. So now we got it over here on the other side of the boat on the rod I tied it onto. So yeah, we recovered in fine style, no doubt. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, after launching this beautiful bait eggs back out in the hole, getting her set in there in a good spot for Leif. Finally got to get that tubular reactor back in my hands. And, it's kind of funny. These guys didn't even ask to fish with it or anything. They were just having a heck of a time. Of course, Phil caught one on the coon shrimp, too, while we were dinking around. This video was getting long, so by the way, this is just the next cast. So this is all right in a row. I'm not kidding around here. This is pretty amazing. Watch this fire drill. Oh my gosh. There we go. So, as you can see, this thing's just rocking the free world. Of course, we know it ain't free. And everything costs more than it should. So when you're having a day like this, yeah, you forget all about that. Anyway, this is I did have a dry cast in between the last fish and this one. So right about here, one takes a swipe at it, and I don't know if he just came close or if he kind of got a hold of it, but I felt him there for a second, and I don't know if it was the same one or another one, but right back on we went. So due to this video getting pretty long, I didn't really show all the fish we hooked that day, but it was a really good day, and we had several other days after that with this lure that were pretty impressive.